Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Today we are going to give you a series of Islamic motivation through positive Islamic psychology. Alhamdulillah, this book, Positive Islamic Psychology, was written by the late Professor Muhammad Mahdi Jenkins, a Muslim revert, and myself, Dr. Abdul Aziz, and we are promoting positive Islamic psychology practitioners throughout the world. So we will have series of programs, motivation, and practitioner certification for us to become good practicing Muslims and for us to become achievers in the 21st century. So let me begin this series of motivational talk in some simple manner. Let us begin with the 6 P's of being an achiever. It is very important for Muslims in the 21st century to become achievers. We are not achieving as per, for example, in comparison to others in the world. So we have to be achievers not only from the aspect of the physical being or physical success, but we can be successful, inshallah, or being achievers at 4 levels: spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. And this whole concept of being successful and achievers is mentioned in this book, Positive Islamic Psychology, a handbook to achieve peace, happiness, and success in the 21st century. So this is the book that I recommend you purchase online or hard copy, and inshallah be part of our family of practitioners of positive Islamic psychology and help to make the ummah a strong, achieving ummah that can contribute to the positive development of the world in the 21st century. So let us start with the first program of motivation, the 6 P's of being an achiever. To become an achiever, we have certain techniques or criteria. So in motivation, we start first in life. We have to know the purpose and meaning in life. So as Muslims, we know that our purpose and meaning in life is to be Abdullah, or the servant of Allah, and to become His Khalifa or His vicegerent or His representative on earth, so as His Khalifatullah fil ard. So that is the first meaning, which we will elaborate in many further motivational videos for us to understand the depth and strength of having a purpose and meaning in life. And this is the beautiful thing about Islam. We have a purpose living on this earth. We have a purpose living beyond this earth. We have a purpose for an eternal destiny that we are all entitled to as human beings. All Bani Adam, Allah has elevated us, laqad karamtu Bani Adam, as His Khalifa on this earth, and He blessed us with the purpose and meaning in life, which we must search until we find. So we must find that first. That become the anchor or the basis of our existence. The next level of being an achiever is to have presence. A lot of us are living in life like zombies. We do not have any presence insofar as our existence and our contribution to ourselves, to our family, to our society, to the world. And presence means we are always aware of our life on a daily basis. For example, if somebody is a drug addict, he will go into the drug, for example, morphine or ice, whatever it is, he go high, and he forget about the world, and then he has no presence whatsoever. That's escapism. So we must not become an ummah of escapists. We must be an ummah of achievers and contributors. And we will detail to you how we're going to become more aware of ourselves, being aware of ourselves, our presence. We have a divine element that Allah has infused in us. That is the divine presence, the spiritual aspect. We have endowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the heart, the emotional aspect. Allah has given us the emotional presence, the mental presence of both conscious and subconscious mind, and the physical presence. So combining these 4 presence at 4 levels, inshallah, we'll optimize our life to achieve great success in life and become achievers as we strive to be. Once we know that, then we need to have a good physical life. a physical life that is full of energy and wellness. And this is something that we have to promote in the Muslim world. We have a lot of obese, fat people moving around. We have a lot of people who are unhealthy. We have a lot of people who are having unhealthy lifestyle by smoking, drinking, and taking excessive food, and so on. So how can we become achievers if we are not healthy? And how can we be happy if we are not healthy? So health is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to become an achiever, we must have physical energy and wellness through diet, proper eating in an Islamic manner, so that we can then achieve the best of this life that Allah has bestowed upon us, as Allah tells us in our daily dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. That we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the goodness of this world. And the goodness of this world can only come about if we have and partake in a good, healthy living, away from the vices and the sins of what has been ordained in the religion of Islam. Next, once we have gone through understanding our purpose and meaning, understanding the presence, understanding the physical energy, we must have the positive psychology. So this is where, alhamdulillah, this is the first handbook of positive Islamic psychology in the world, written by Professor John Jenkins, or his Muslim name, Muhammad Al-Mahdi Jenkins. He passed on 8 years ago, and alhamdulillah, I have been able to contribute to continue this book and publish this, the first positive Islamic psychology book in the Muslim world. So we hope by publishing this book, we would be able to help the Ummah to imbue in ourselves positive psychology, because Islam is the most positive deen in the world. The philosophy of life in Islam is the most positive philosophy of life in the world, in this universe, because it is a revealed philosophy. It is not something that is created by man, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected our beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and revealed unto him the way of life that is the way of Islam, the way to perfection, the way to harmony, the way to peace, the way to achievement and success. So we try to imbue ourselves with positive psychology. Next, we have, as an ummah, as individual, as a self, others and the world, we must be able to contribute to the world by being productive. So we must know how to go about to lead life, having a productive life, a life of service, a life of contribution, a life that we can be successful in this world and the hereafter. Because even if we do at an individual level, we must have a daily schedule so that we be productive, not lazy. Islam wants us to have self-discipline, and Islam wants us to have dedication in whatever we do to achieve the best. And our great scholars and our beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a par excellent example of a productive life. And all the great Imam, from Imam Al-Shafi'i or Imam Al-Maliki or Imam Al-Ghazali and all the great scholars, you can see that they're so productive, that their life is filled with mission, vision and action, so that they can, within the span that Allah has given them, they achieve the best and fulfill the best and receive the best of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next is, there is no compulsion in religion. So in Islam, it is all through persuasion. So that's why we have to persuade ourselves, our friends, our families, our community, to begin to practice the beautiful deen of Islam, not by force, not by threat, not by doing something that is evil, but we persuade, because we are told to do da'wah with beautiful teachings and beautiful preaching and beautiful words. So we have to do the aspect of having a personal capability of persuasion. This is a science in which we must learn how we can communicate with others and able to persuade others to learn to accept our viewpoint, and also to be able to discuss and debate in a friendly, nicely manner with other Muslim brothers and sisters, regardless of whatever their leaning are, or with all humanity, that we live in the 21st century as one human family, that we live in peace and happiness with all of them, all the time aware of our duty as being the Caliph of Allah, to persuade others to understand this deen of Islam that Allah has revealed upon us, the beautiful way of life, that we persuade others to accept at least, and later on become Muslims. And once we have done all these things, then we would achieve total success as achievers. So this is what I will be able to, I hope to be able to discuss with you every day, a short motivational program, 10 to 15 minutes, for us to discuss each and every topic from this little chart as well as this book, Positive Islamic Psychology, a transcendent model to achieve peace, happiness and success. Inshallah, once we understand that we are the Caliph of Allah, we should strive to make ourselves good, to help others to be good, make this world good and pleasing to Allah and all His creatures, and let us achieve peace, happiness and success as blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.